Well, welcome to the video on how to use the lick sheets from the Jazz Lictionary. If you're watching this video, you are probably going to be working with me at an upcoming festival, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you and getting a chance to make some great music together. So the idea behind these lick sheets is just to help you with some basics of the jazz language, the jazz improvisational language. And each of these little licks, each of these little ideas is simply just a phrase in communicating with the audience. If you were learning Spanish, you'd learn phrases like, the car is red. That girl is my friend. That's exactly what you're doing here with these licks. You're learning just some of the common ideas improvisers use, and you put them together and you make them your own. That takes time and practice, but I know that together we can make your solo sound just awesome. So let's start with just a little bit of background. So the idea is this. All you have to do is this. For every single lick sheet, just know the major scale that you're trying to draw from, which really just means what key are these tunes in. You don't have to worry about minor key. You don't have to worry about minor scales, excuse me. You don't have to worry about any special. Only thing you have to worry about is the major scale. So the bottom line is, let's say I'm looking at that first lick sheet, the lick sheet that has Buddha on it, 6-1. And let's say I play alto sax. So I want to play all those licks in the key of, let's just do concert F. Okay? In the key of concert F for the alto saxophone, that's your what scale? Well, that'd be your D scale. So, pardon my sloppy handwriting here. I'm using a stylus on an iPad, so it may not be great. I'm just going to write out the concert F scale for saxophone, alto saxophone, which is G. Okay, that looks right, yeah? All right, good. Sorry about that. Then, all I'm going to do is assign each one a number. Makes sense, right? 4, that's a weird-looking 3, that's for sure. Now, sometimes I'll have, this is 8. It just depends on how you want to think about it. It looks more like a snowman there. So there we go. So this is our scale that we're using for the next page, okay? And it's really this easy. In a second here, we're going to get started here on how to use these licks, okay? Okay, so here we are. We're on the lick sheet you probably have in front of you too. And so we said I'm playing alto sax. I said our key is F, and we want to plug the letters into our licks, the scale degrees into our licks. So just so we know what's going on, I'm going to write this scale again at the top. Concert F scale for saxophone, right? There we go. And the numbers again, right? All right, I just look at my Buddha lick. Here we go. I'm going to go 4. 4 is G. My G's are weird, aren't they? G. A is 5. Flat 3. Now, 3 is F sharp. When I flat is sharp, flat just means to lower something a half step, doesn't it? So that means that would become F natural. G, A, F, back to the regular 3. And notice how I kind of write them in the same shape that's presented in the lick, just to kind of know melodically that I'm going up, and down, down there. So there's my Buddha lick. Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. Part of learning these licks, too, is hearing them. And that's one of the things, if you had the Jazz Lictionary, every lick comes with a play-along track. You can learn it in 4 different keys. So maybe that might be something you're interested in later. So looking at, let's just say, the da-doodle lick, all right? So da-doodle, not only does da-doodle tell you how it sounds rhythmically, but it also gives you the tonguing. Da-doodle-da-da. Okay, so we go flat 3, which we know is F natural. The 3 is F sharp. The 5 is A. The 6 is B. And the 1, or the 8, however you want to think about it. There's your da-doodle. Is that making sense to you, hopefully? It's really not complicated, is it? Let's just do one more. Let's do the one lick here, okay? 1 is D, 4 is G, 2 is E, 2 is E sharp. That's a weird one, isn't it? E sharp and B sharp are those two special sharps where it actually becomes the next note up, doesn't it? It's the two white notes that are right next to each other on the piano. E sharp would really be F natural, wouldn't it? Okay, good. You knew that. And we go to F sharp. Okay? Well, I hope that makes sense to you. So now you know how to do the section 1 licks in the key, well, really in whatever key you're in. Because if you're in trumpet and you're doing this, it would be your what scale? Your G scale. And if you are a concert pitch instrument, we were doing this in the concert F, well, that's pretty easy. That's your F scale right there. Okay, next will be minor scales. Ooh, isn't that exciting? Okay, here we are now. We have our minor licks. This would be from section 4 of the Jazz Lictionary. That doesn't matter too much. Let me just slide this down just a little bit for us. And let's go back to that scale. We're doing this. These are supposed to be an F. The song we're doing is an F minor. Okay? Do I need to worry about major or minor? All I have to worry about is what is the major scale. We know that concert F for saxophone is D. So I write my D major scale. Running out of room, aren't I? Okay. I did my numbers already. You know how to do this. I don't have to do this for you. Now, the 2 minor lick. The 2 is E. The flat 3 is F natural. The 7 is C sharp. Because a true minor has a 7 from the major scale. You'll hear it. Once you play these licks enough and you listen to some jazz, you're going to hear the real jazzers, the real improvisers use that natural 7 in the minor scale. Even the natural 6, too. That's a pretty cool sound. So there's our 2 minor lick. Let's look at this one. This is a really cool one, the minor da doodle. It's really awesome. So E, F, A. Now here's my flat 7. Yes, you will use a flat 7 in minor. Sure you will. You'll use both. When you get real good, you can interchange them. Oh, you can make some cool sounds. C natural, right? In E, and I'm being real sloppy here because I'm writing this on my iPad with one of those stylus. Not the most accurate pen. So here you go. I hope this makes a lot of sense to you. So it's always going to be from the major scale, even if it's a minor lick. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and I want you to email me 118band@gmail.com if you have any questions. gmail.com, and I'm sure you'd find it on the website that you got this video from anyway too. 118band@gmail.com. Shoot me a message. Let me know how it's going. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to work through this with you. I really want these filled out and ready to go by the festival, and that you've played through some of these licks so you kind of know what they sound like. You do that, and we're going to have a great festival, and you're going to be an amazing soloist at that festival. Okay? Looking forward to meeting you and working together, and talk to you soon. All right, this is really an interesting and a confusing angle here to using these licks. So what I want you to remember, and what I want you to focus on, is that it doesn't matter minor or major, really, when you think about these licks. You see, the minor licks, most every lick has a flat 3 in it. And that flat 3 is what makes the difference between a major key and a minor key. A true minor scale has a flatted third, and that's it. It still shares the same 7 as the major, the same 6. Now, with that being said, let's say I was doing a tune. Let's say I'm still playing alto sax. And let's say I was doing a tune in F minor. So my song is in F minor. And I want to figure out these licks in F minor. Well, I know for the alto, that's my what? D. Good, that's my key of D. We just did that, didn't we? We did that for section 1 licks. So in F minor, it's my D, so I think of my D major scale. Yes, my D major scale. Don't be fooled. A lot of people want to, you think about all these different scales, and that's all well and good and just fine. But since these licks are in minor already, they have a flat third in them, all you have to remember is just the major scale. So any of these licks in the jazz lictionary, it's always going to be from the major scale. I like to keep things real simple. And the simplest thing to remember is the major scale. Then the licks themselves have the different scale degrees that are changed. Okay? So let's say, for example, the first lick you'll see is going to have it's going to have a 2 and a flat 3 and a 7 and a 2 and a flat 2 and a 1, something like that. So we would just take, so that would be E, right? F natural. 7 is C sharp, so that would be C sharp there, right? Okay, you're starting to get the hang of this now, I think. So we're going to move on. We're going to go straight to the minor lick sheet. We're going to fill out some minor licks in F, in the key of concert F.